Okay, welcome guys sa subject natin, Engineering Data Analysis. And this is our last lecture for the course. And we will be discussing today about hypothesis testing methods in relation to our last lecture, yung hypothesis testing natin. Okay? So at the end of this lecture, these are the things that hopefully you will be able to um, understand. Okay? First one is to demonstrate to you and explain yung different method in testing yung hypothesis natin. So from our lecture last time, we are able to understand how to formulate or identify kung ano yung null hypothesis natin tsaka yung alternative hypothesis natin sa given problem. Ngayon, ah mag-introduce tayo ng tatlong methods to solve o to answer yung mga hypothesis natin kung kailangan ba natin siyang i-reject or i-accept. Okay? Then last is to apply and solve problems using different hypothesis testing methods natin. Okay? So let's start. So hypothesis testing methods. So actually there are other methods available pa pero we will just focus on these three. So three methods used to test hypothesis. Yung first one is yung traditional method natin or yung naka-refer tayo is sa z values pa din natin like we are doing dun sa normal distribution natin. Next is yung sa p-value method or yung sa probability value method natin. Then last is yung t-test method or later by using yung t-table na sinasabi natin. Okay? So let us first start in the first method, traditional method muna tayo. Okay? So in traditional method, ito yung steps in solving yung hypothesis testing using this technique. Yung first one, state natin yung hypothesis natin and then identify natin kung ano yung kiniklaim dun sa mismong problem natin. Okay? So, laging may claim na statement yung mismong problem natin. So, yun yung gagamitin natin conclusion right after ma-decide natin kung i-reject or accept natin yung null hypothesis natin. Okay? Next is to find yung critical value natin. So, yung critical value will be taken from our Z table. Okay? So, I hope everybody knows how to use yung Z table natin. And then, kailangan compute natin yung test value. So, sa pag-compute ng test value, we have a formula for Z, no? So, katulad din siya nung sa Z-score halos, pero may iba siyang component, no? So, test value natin is another formula for Z na yung value niya will be compared dun sa nakuha natin na critical value sa Z table. Okay? Then, based from the computation of Z table, nung test value natin, tsaka nung critical value natin, compare natin sila. Kapag nag-agree dun sa comparison tayo, pag may make tayo ng decision, halimbawa nag-agree, pag nag-agree, ibig sabihin kailangan natin i-reject. Kapag nag-disagree dun sa condition natin, we will not reject the null hypothesis. Then, yung summary ng result is just a statement kung anong gagawin natin doon sa claim natin. Okay? So, yung z-test for a mean, ito yung test value na hinahanap natin. So, this is only applicable for samples greater than or equal to 30. Okay? So, yun yung pinaka key nyo doon kung anong gagamitin yung test, no? Kapag less than and equal to 30 yung number ng sample mo, pwede mong gamitin si z-test. Okay? Pag nag-less than 30 na siya, si t-test na yung gagamitin mo. Okay? And of course, kailangan normal distributed yung problem mo and yung given standard deviation mo is known. Okay? So the formula daw for z-test o yung test value natin is given as z is equals to bar x minus mu all over standard deviation divided by square root of n, wherein yung x bar natin is yung sample mean natin. Then yung mu is yung hypothesized population mean. Okay? Then population standard deviation, yung sigma nn is our sample size. Okay? So we try to apply this muna sa example para mas maintindihan natin. So Given the problem, sabi, a researcher reports that the average salary of assistant professors is more than $42,000. Okay, so yun yung una niyang statement. Ano ba yung step natin ulit? Ang step natin, first one is state natin yung hypothesis natin. Okay? So sa first statement natin, no, anong makikita natin keyword? Is more than. Okay? So kung is more than siya, so meaning ang inaano niya is yung alternative hypothesis natin. So yung average salary daw o yung population mean natin, so ibig sabihin in general o karamihan is more than $42,000. Okay? So yan yung alternative hypothesis natin. Then ang null hypothesis natin is just the reciprocal or kabaliktaran ng mismong alternative natin. So ang mu natin is either less than or equal to $42,000. Okay? And then next statement, a sample of 30. So yung 30 natin is N. Okay? Assistant professors has a mean salary. So mean salary. So yung mean salary na to, nung sample natin is yung sample mean natin. Yung sample mean siya yung bar X. Okay? So at alpha is equals to 0.05. So si 0.05 is yung type 1 error natin, no? So if you can recall yung last session natin, we already discussed that. Then, ang sabi niya, test the claim that the assistant professor earn more than $42,000 per year. So, itest daw natin yung claim. So, ibig sabihin, si alternative yung claim natin. So, ito yung kiniklaim ng problem. Then, the standard deviation to population is 5,230. Okay? So, first step natin, so yan na yun, na-identify na natin kung ano yung claim. Next is find yung critical value sa Z-table. Okay? Ano daw yung critical value natin? So, given tayo na alpha is equals to 0.05, then yung alternative natin is naka-greater than. So, ibig sabihin, ang standard normal distribution natin is pertaining dito sa natin kulay. Dito sa portion na to. Okay? So, ito yung 0.05. Again, na-discuss na natin to kung paano nalalaman yung kung one-tailed, two-tailed siya, and then kung anong side siya. Okay? So, better recall nyo na lang. Then, kailangan mo kunin yung, para makuha mo yung critical value, kailangan mo kunin yung Z value nito sa mismong Z table natin. So, yung 0.05 is yung probability ng shaded part. So, para makuha natin yung Z value, kailangan natin ng anong value. So, itong value na to, no? Okay? Which is 0.95. So, kailangan kunin natin yan dun sa ating normal table. So, let me share yung ating Z table para i-refresh na din. Yan. We have our Z table. Then, kailangan natin is nasa right side tayo, so positive tayo. Then, kailangan natin ng value na 0.95. So, closest to 0.95 is ito is greater than 53 to. Ito is less than 50. Tama ba? 50 lang ba to? Okay, so let me check. 0.95 minus 0.94. Saan yan? 94950. Okay, so alin ang mas maliit? Yung 1.64, 1.65. Okay, 94950 and 95053. So, ang mas maliit sa kanya is yung 1.64. Okay, so ang Z value natin is 1.64. 1.64. Okay? So, 0.95 ang hinahanap natin. So, 1.64. So, yun yung critical value natin. Okay? Going back sa slide. Okay, so, ito yung critical value natin, 1.64. Ngayon, lagyan natin. Critical value. Okay? Next is, kunin daw natin yung test value natin. So, yung test value natin magagaling doon sa equation natin ng sample mean minus yung population mean all over standard deviation divided by square root ng n. Okay? So, substitute lang natin yung values. We have, ano yun? 43,260 minus 42,000 divided by 5,230 over square root of 30. So, yung z-score natin or test value natin will be equals to 43,260 minus 42,000 all over 5,230 divided by the square root of 30. So, ang answer dyan is 1.32. No? 1.32. And 1.32 is our test value. Pag ilalagay natin dun sa normal distribution graph natin, 1.32 is where? So, 1.32 is nandito sa portion na to. Huh? Okay, so ito yung test value natin. Lagyan kong prime na lang. Para ma-distinguish lang natin. So, ibig sabihin, anong conclusion natin ngayon? So, since yung test value natin is less than dun sa z natin or dun sa critical value natin, sabihin, hindi natin, kasi ano bang ibig sabihin? Itong hindi shaded part na to, yung walang shade na part, ito yung do not reject part natin, no? Tapos itong shaded part natin, ito yung rejection plot natin. So kung wala siya dun sa may shaded part, therefore, do not reject yung null hypothesis natin. The null hypothesis. Okay? Since do not reject yung null hypothesis natin, anong summary natin? Ibig sabihin, kung do not reject tayo, ibig sabihin, there is no enough evidence, no? Ano yung claim natin? That the assistant professors earn more than $42 per year. Okay? Kasi hindi natin na-satisfy yung gusto niyang ipasatisfy. Okay? Kaya there is no enough evidence that the assistant professor earn more than $42. So, do not reject natin yung mismong null hypothesis natin. Okay? So, I hope malinaw to sa first part natin for z-test. Okay? Another example. Okay, so a researcher claims that the average cost of men athletics shoes is less than $80. Okay? So, una kailangan natin ng hypothesis natin. So, null hypothesis at alternative hypothesis natin. Is less than is for alternative yan, no? Is less than $80. So, yung null hypothesis natin is greater than equal to $80. Okay? Next, he select a random sample of 36. So, ito yung N natin from a catalog and finds the following cost. So, yung cost natin, naka-present siya as ungroup data. No? Is there enough evidence to support the researcher's claim at alpha is equals to 0.1? As assumed daw natin na yung standard deviation is 19.2. Okay, so let me show you sa calcu kung paano to ilalagay, no? Yan. So, halimbawa ito yung calcu. Okay. So, wait lang. So, from calcu, mode, then stat tayo, 3. Then 1, yung pipiliin mo. Yan. So, may lumabas na table. Gagawin lang natin, input lang natin lahat ng nakalagay na number dun sa data natin. So, we have 60, 70, 75, 55, 80, 55, 50, 40, 80, 70, 50, 95, 120, so 90, 75, 85, 80, 60, 110, 65, 80, we have 85, 85, 45, then 75, 60, 90, okay, sorry, 60, 95, 110, then 85, 45, 90, 70, and 70. Okay? So, ito yung total, lahat ng nandun. Okay? Next is just press AC, then Shift 1. Lalabas kung ano yung kailangan natin. We have variable. Tapos kailangan natin kasi is yung mean natin. So, 2. So, may kulang ako dun sa ano. Wait lang ulit. Okay, nawala siya. Okay, so, wait lang. 60, 70, 75, 55, 80, 55, 50, 80, 70, 50, and 95, and 120, 90, 75, 85, 80, 60, 110, 65, 80, 85, 85, 45, 75, 60, 90, 90, 60, 95, 110, 85, 45, 90, 70, and 70. Okay. Then AC, shift 1, then variable number 4. Mas kailangan natin ng mean, sample mean natin, kaya 2 equals, yan. Yan yung mean natin. So, sulat ko lang muna. So, kailangan natin yung para ma-identify yung test value natin. 75 yung mean niya. Then, pag chinek natin kung ano yung value ng standard deviation natin. So, standard deviation is 4. Okay. So, 19, 19.16 yung calculated niya. Pero pag binalikan natin yung sa mismong slide natin, okay? So, yung given sa problem na standard deviation is 19.2, no? So, the same naman, ni-round off lang niya. Okay? Pero 19.2 na lang gamitin natin. Okay? So, nakuha na natin yung sample mean ito. Ito yun. 75 ang sample mean niya. Pero sa second one, kailangan muna natin ng critical value, no? So, yung alternative hypothesis natin is naka-less than. So, yung mismong graph natin ng ano is naka-less. Dito tayo sa left and tail tayo. Okay? Then, yung given na alpha is ito yun. alpha is equals to 0.1. Hanapin daw natin yung z value niyan doon sa z table. So, showing yung z table natin. Then since nasa left side tayo, sa negative table tayo dito. Then hanapin natin yung 0.1 na value. So, yung 0.1 natin is somewhere dito. To. So, itong negative 2.32 is 17 ang distance. Ito ay 10 lang. So, ito yung value natin. Negative 2.33. Negative 2.33 yung value ng z natin na critical value. So, going back. Okay. So, yan. So, nilagay ko na negative 2.33. Ito yung critical value natin. Next is to calculate yung test value natin, which is bar x minus mu all over standard deviation over square root of n. Okay, so we have 75 minus 80 all over standard deviation na 19.2 per square root of 36. Okay, yung z test value natin is 75 minus 80 all over 19.2 divided by the square root of 36. So we have negative 1.5625. Na ang location niyan, pag titingnan natin is, kung ito negative 2.33, nasan yan? Si negative 1.5625. So kung ito yung mean natin, so somewhere dito yan. Okay? Kasi again, dito, from 0 to, di ba? 0 to, so kung pababa, so dapat pataas yung value. Okay? Ito, dito siya pumasok. Ito yung z prime natin. Okay? So, ano magiging conclusion natin dyan? Since z is greater than, z prime is greater than z, do not reject ulit tayo. No? Yung null hypothesis natin. Okay? Pero ano ba yung claim natin? Is there enough evidence to support the researcher's claim? Okay, ang claim ni researcher is yung average is less than 80. So ito yung claim niya. So ang conclusion natin, therefore, there is no enough evidence to support the researcher's claim. Okay? So, yan yung pag-solve ng hypothesis natin or pag-test ng hypothesis natin using yung z-test for mean. Okay? Next, we now proceed dun sa next method natin. So, yung p-value method. So, sa p-value method, it's almost the same ni z-test. Pero, imbis na z-value yung gagamitin natin, ang focus natin is yung probability value niya. Ibig sabihin yung nakukuha natin dun sa loob ng z-table natin. Okay? So, yung p-value, yung probability value is the probability of getting a sample statistic such as the mean or a more extreme sample statistic in the direction of the alternative hypothesis when the null hypothesis is true. Okay? So, in this section, yung traditional method natin for solving hypothesis testing, again, kino-compare natin is z-value using critical value and test value. Pero pagdating kay p-value, ang kino-compare natin ngayon is the area. So, ibig sabihin yung given na alpha and yung p-value na makukalculate natin. Okay? So, step in solving, the same lang halos, state yung hypothesis, compute yung test value, find the p-value, make the decision, then summarize the result. Okay? So, let's apply sa first example. A researcher wishes to test the claim that the average cost of tuition and fees at a 4-year public college is greater than 5,700. Okay? So, is greater than is an alternative, no? So, mu is greater than 5,700. So, yung null hypothesis natin will be less than equal 5,700. Okay? So, yung claim niya is ito. Ito yung claim niya. Okay? Next is, kunin daw natin yung test value natin. So, test value natin is using lang din yung formula na ito. So, kailangan lang natin hanapin yung mga values niyan. So, dito, she selects a random sample of 36. So, ito yung N natin. And finds the mean. So, ito yung sample mean natin. The population standard deviation. So, ito yung sigma natin. Is there an evidence to support the claim at 0.05? So, ito yung alpha natin. Okay? So, using to, we have 5,950 minus yung 5,700 natin all over 659 over square root of 36. Yung value niyan is 5,950 minus 5,700 over 659 square root of 36. We have 2.28. Ngayon, tingnan natin sa 2.28. Okay, 2.28 positive. So, we just go here. Then 2.2, then 8 is dito. Okay, 2.28 is 0.98870. 98870. Pero, ano ba tong test natin? Test natin is a greater than yung ang normal distribution curve natin is ganito. Okay? So, ito yan. Ito yung shaded part na yan. Okay? Then, yung 2.28 na nakalculate natin is ano ba equivalent itong 0.05? So, ito is 0.95 na to, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, si 0.98870, pag i-graph natin siya, that will be somewhere here. No? So, since pumasok siya doon sa shaded part natin, saan na ba tayo? Find the p-value. Ito na pala yun. Ito yung step 3. Step 4 is make a decision. So, since yung p natin is greater than dun sa alpha natin, okay? Ano natin is, reject natin yung null hypothesis. Okay? And sa number 5, magiging explanation natin. There is enough evidence okay, sorry. Nasa standard deviation pa din pala ako. Okay? Wait lang. Okay, for a while. Ang last doon sa standard deviation is kinuha lang natin yung value, no? So ito yung nakuha natin value, 0.98870. Okay? Then since naka-greater than to, ibig sabihin yung normal distribution curve natin is one-tailed siya na nandito sa right. Okay? So itong shaded portion na to, ito yung alpha natin equals to 0.05. Okay? Then si 0.05 is equivalent sa 0.95, no? Na area. Again, yung walang shaded portion is do not reject and yung shaded portion is reject. Okay, yung nakuha natin yung value ni P na 2.28 is 0.988. So si 0.988 is somewhere dito kasi 0.95 to. So ibig sabihin 0.98870 to. So since yung p-value natin is greater than dun sa alpha natin or dun sa rejection probability natin, so kailangan natin i-reject yung null hypothesis. Okay? So kung reject siya, ang conclusion natin, there is enough evidence to support yung claim natin. na yung null yung average na tuition fee is greater than 5,700. Okay? Wait lang, let me check something. Okay. So, yun. So, yun yung pinaka ano natin. Okay? So, applying again the same concept na probability yung hinahanap natin into another example. We have here a researcher claims that the average wind speed in a certain city is 8 miles per hour. Okay, so is 8 miles per hour. So sa first one, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So null hypothesis natin is 8 miles per hour, no? And then yung alternative hypothesis natin ngayon will be not equal ng 8 miles per hour. Okay? Anong claim natin? Ito yung claim natin. Okay? Next is test for the test value. So, a sample of 32 days. So, ito yung N natin. Has an average wind speed. So, ito yung bar X natin. The standard deviation. Okay, sigma. And then alpha, 0.05. Okay, use p-value method. So, z-score natin o z-test value is equals to, yeah, square root of n. Next, mean natin is 8.2 minus 8 all over 0.6 divided by square root of 32. So yung z value natin is 8.2 minus 8 all over 0.6 divided by square root of 32. We have 1.89. Okay? Ang third step natin is to identify yung equivalent probability ng 1.89. Okay, so hopefully matandaan kong ibalik ulit, no? So, 1.89. So, dito, 1.8, then 9. Ito si 89 equal siya sa 0.97062. Okay. Yan. So, 0.97062. Okay. So, ano ibig sabihin yan? Draw natin yung normal distribution curve natin. Okay. Then, since 0.05 yan, ang ibig sabihin ng not equal, so ibig sabihin less than or greater than siya. So ibig sabihin dapat two-tailed yung figure natin. Okay? Kung two-tailed yan, ano yung magiging value ng alpha dyan? So yung alpha natin is 0.05. Pero yan is for total rejection yan. So since 2n tayo, dapat yung alpha natin, divide natin ng 2. No? So 0.025 yan. Okay? So, ano ngayon yung values natin? Itong portion na to is equivalent siya sa 1 minus 0.025. Equivalent na siya sa 0.975. Okay? So, ang value ng P natin is 0.970625. No? So, ibig sabihin hindi siya aabot dito sa portion na to. So, dito lang siya sa portion na so pupunta. Okay? So, dito lang siya pupunta somewhere dito. Okay? So, ito yung P natin. Ano magiging ano natin? So, P is less than dun sa alpha natin. Therefore, do not reject yung null hypothesis natin. Okay? So, number 5 is there is no enough evidence to support our claim. Okay? So, ganun lang yung pag-solve niya. Okay? So, walang enough evidence to support the claim na yung average wind speed is 8 miles per hour. No? Kasi hindi nag-fall under sa rejection criteria yung mismong curve natin. Okay? Okay. So, yan yung para sa p-value natin. So, ito daw mga guidelines lang kapag walang alpha. Excuse me lang. Okay? So, if yung p-value daw is less than 0.01, reject yung null hypothesis. The difference is highly significant. If p-value is greater than 0.01, but p-value is less than 0.05, reject yung null hypothesis. So, basically, kung alam mo naman gumamit ng figure, you don't need to focus on this one, no? Pero ito daw ay kapag ano lang, kapag walang given na alpha. Okay? So kapag walang given na probability of type 1 error. Okay? Then to, ano lang yung significance, kung ano ibig sabihin. Then now we go sa t-test method for a mean. Okay? So sa t-test method, almost the same pa din siya. Ang kaibahan lang, hindi z table yung gagamitin mo. Gagamitin natin is t-test table. Okay? So the t-test is a statistical test for the mean of a population and is used when the population is normally or approximately normally distributed. Or sabi ko nga kanina, kapag yung population natin na n, okay, is less than 30. Okay? So mas magandang gamitin si t-test kapag less than 30 yung mismong sample natin. Okay? So yung formula is almost the same lang din, no? Yan, no? The same lang yung formula, eh. No? Yung S is standard deviation pa din. Pero ngayon, meron tayong tinatawag na degrees of freedom na n-1 lang naman siya. So saan natin gagamitin yung degrees of freedom na yan? Gamitin natin kung paano gamitin yung table, no? So using the t-table, find out natin yung critical t-value kapag alpha is 0.05 tsaka degrees of freedom natin ay 16 for right-tailed test. Okay? Right-tailed test yan. So, pakita natin kung ano itsura ng table. No? For a while. So, you can open your own copy. Okay? So, yan. So, ito yon. So, yung t-table natin. So, yung pinapakuha is yung alpha daw is 0.05. Saan natin tingnan ang alpha? Yung value ng alpha is dito sa portion na to. So, area in one tail tsaka area in two tails. No? Since yung nakalagay sa atin for right-tailed, so one tail lang tayo. Then, kung ano man yung mabasa natin dito, pag right-tailed siya, positive yung value. Pag left-tailed, negative lang yung value. Okay? So, nakalagay alpha natin is 0.05. So, ito yon. Ito yung column na yon, 0.05. Then, hanapin nyo lang yung degrees of freedom na hinahanap. So, yung degrees of freedom natin ay 16. So, pag intersectin nyo lang ulit, so, ano ba to? Okay, so let me, so 16, so ito yon, no? And then, ito yung intersection niya. Okay? So, yung intersection niya is 1.746. So, ibig sabihin, yung critical t value natin is 1.746. Positive dahil right tail tayo. Okay? Okay, next. Hindi na ako alis dito sa ano dito. Ang bawa, ang given naman daw is alpha is equals to Next, halimbawa ay alpha is 0.01. Okay? Then yung degrees of freedom naman daw ay equal sa 22. Pero left tail tayo. Okay? Left tail tayo. Ay, sorry. But left yun. Okay. Yan, left tail. So, ibig sabihin kung left tail tayo, one tail lang yung area natin. Alpha is 0.01. So, ibig sabihin, dito tayo sa table na to. No? Pababa. Okay? So, degrees of freedom is 22. So, to. Yan. Then, ito yung 0.01. So, yan. So, yung answer natin is 2.508. Okay? Pero since left tail yan, kailangan lalagyan natin ng negative. Okay? So, yung value ng t dyan is negative 2.508. Okay? Next, another one. Paano naman daw kung halimbawa, place muna natin. Okay? Halimbawa, yung so, na yun. Okay, so, halimbawa ang given, alpha, paano to? Wala. For a while. Nangyari. Okay. So, halimbawa, alpha is equals to 0.1 daw. Okay. Then, degrees of freedom daw is equals to 18. Then, two-tailed naman siya. Okay. So, pag two-tailed siya, no need mong i-divide yung 0.1. As is na siya, dito ka lang pupunta sa area ng two-tailed. Okay. So, tapos degrees of freedom natin is 18. So, asan na tayo? 0.1 tayo. So, dito tayo sa 0.1. Then, 0.1 ito. So, ano yung magiging value natin? 1.734. Pero since yan ay two-tailed, dapat yung value natin is positive, negative 1.734. Okay? So, yan yung paghanap para sa t-value gamit tong t-table natin. Okay? So, okay, risk lang. Okay. So, go back dun sa slide natin. Okay, ito. Sample lang tayo. So, a medical investigation claims that the average number of infections per week at a hospital in southern Pennsylvania is 16.3. Okay, average number of infection is, no? So, lang una, so null hypothesis, alternative. So, is tayo. So, null hypothesis natin is equal to 6.3. Okay? Then, so yung ano natin is not equal tayo ng 6.3. A random sample of 10 weeks. Okay? So, kita nyo yung N natin is less than 30. No? Had a mean of 17.7. So, ito yung sample mean natin. Standard deviation is 1.8. Okay? Is there enough evidence to resist the investigator's claim? Okay? So, yung alpha natin is 0.05. Okay? Anong claim natin? Ito yung claim natin. Okay? So, kunin natin yung t-test natin. So, parang gagawin dito is same nung sa z-test method natin. Okay? So, identify muna natin yung um, critical value natin. So, yung graph natin will be, okay? So, yung graph natin will be like that. Okay? So, since yung alternative natin is not equal, okay? So, ibig sabihin two-tailed tayo. Okay? Two-tailed tayo. Pero hindi natin alam yung value niya. Okay? Hindi pa natin alam. So, from our table, ang parameters natin ngayon is alpha is 0.05 and then anong degrees of freedom natin? So, n minus 1. So, 10 minus 1 is equals to 9. Okay? Then, tayo is two-tailed tayo. Okay? So, going back to sa kanina, okay? Ito yung table natin. And then, 0.05, two-tailed tayo. So, ito. And then, degrees of freedom natin, 9. So, pwedeng ito and ito. Okay? 2.262. So, ibig sabihin, sulat ko na lang, negative and positive, 2.262. 2.262. Okay? So, balik na tayo sa slide. Yan, so nilagay ko na yung nakuha natin na 2.262. Okay. Next is to get yung test value natin. Okay. So yung test value natin is the same. So bar minus mu all over. Yan. So 17.7 minus 16.3 all over standard deviation over square root of 10. Okay. T-test natin will be equal sa 17.7 minus 16.3 all over 1.8 over square root of 10. So yung value natin is 2.4595. Okay? So, balik tayo dito sa diagram natin dito. Ito is 2.262. So, 2.495 4595 is somewhere dito. So, mas maano pa siya, no? So, ito yung gawin natin T prime na lang. T prime. Okay? So, anong conclusion natin? Ang T prime natin is greater than dun sa T natin. So, therefore, reject natin yung null hypothesis natin. Okay? Then, conclusion natin, there is enough evidence to reject our claim. Okay? So, same procedure, ibang table lang. Okay? Basta ang ano nyo, pinaka guide nyo is when to use it. Kapag less than 30 yung value natin, so mas suggested na yung T-table ang gagamitin natin versus dun sa Z-table natin. Okay? Okay. Next, I think this is the last example na. Okay. So an educator claims that the average salary of substitute teachers in school Pennsylvania is less than 60 per day. Is less than. Okay. So null hypothesis, alternative. So is less than is mu less than 60. Okay. So ang null hypothesis natin will be greater than equal 60. Then ito yung magiging claim natin. Okay. A random sample of 8 schools, okay, 8 schools Ito yung N natin. Is selected. And the daily salaries are shown. Is there enough evidence to support the claim? Alpha is 0.1. So, yung degrees of freedom natin is n minus 1. So, 8 minus 1 is equals to 7. Less than tayo sa alternative natin. So, ibig sabihin 1-tailed left tayo, no? Okay? So, pwede natin kunin muna yung actual value, no? Nung natin. So, sa 2 natin, ito yung distribution natin. Okay? So, left tail tayo. So, ito yon. So, yung t-value pwede na natin kunin muna, no? Okay, so let's go back dun sa table natin. Okay. So, dito, we have 0.1. One tail tayo sa 0.1 dito. Then, 7. Okay. So, yung intersection nila is ito. No? 1.415. Pero since left tail tayo, siya ay negative 1.415. Okay? Then going back sa slide. Okay? So, yun yun. Yun yung critical value natin. Ngayon, identify natin yung sa formula natin. T prime. X bar minus mu all over standard deviation over square root of n. Pero ang problema natin, wala pa tayong value ni bar x. Okay? So again, para makuha si bar x, tsaka ang wala pa tayo ay standard deviation ba? Okay, wala din standard deviation. So, pwedeng gamitin ulit natin yung calcu natin. Okay? So, using our calcu. Okay, ito yung calcu ulit natin. So, balik ulit natin. So, mode 3 yung stat tayo, tapos 1 minus variable. Okay? So, 1. Tapos input ko lang yung data. We have 60 equals 56 equals 60 equals 55 equals 70 equals 55 equals 60 equals and then 55 equals. Okay? So, yun yung data natin. Easy lang natin. Then, para makuha yung standard deviation, shift 1. Tapos, yung number 4, variable. Standard, ang mean natin ay 2. Okay? So, ang mean daw natin, okay, sulat ko lang dun sa slide, is 58.875. Okay? Then, kailangan kong kunin yung standard deviation. So, AC ulit. Tapos, shift, stat, variable, then yung number 4. Okay? So, ito yung standard deviation niya. 5.083. Okay? So, okay na. Nakuha na natin yon. Okay? So, ito yung galing doon sa calculation na yon. 58.875 saka 5.083. So, substitute natin. 58.875 minus 60 all over 5.083 divided by square root of 8. Okay. So, test value natin is 58.875 minus 60 all over 5.083 divided by square root of 8. We have negative 0.626. And comparing that value dito, okay, nasaan yan? Negative 0.626 is closer dito sa 0 natin. No? So, ibig sabihin, somewhere dito yan. Ito yung T prime natin. So, conclusion natin, T prime is greater than T, therefore, do not reject. Okay? Do not reject yung null hypothesis natin. Then, yung fifth natin is there is no enough evidence. Okay? to support our claim. Okay? So that's how you calculate kung paano natin i-accept or reject yung um, mga null hypothesis natin sa given claim. Okay? Again, this will be useful kapag nagtitesis na kayo or meron kayong um, feasibility study, no? So this will be useful and hopefully naituro ko siya ng maayos-ayos, no? Okay? So if we don't have any more question, this ends our lecture for today, and this ends our course for this semester. Okay? So thank you guys for listening, for attending the session. So hopefully madami kayong natutunan from me. Although alam ko mas mahirap yung pagbibigay ko ng ano compared sa other professors kung compare nyo sa iba. Okay? Pero thank you for listening.